Imagine closing your eyes today and opening those 300 years from now. Not in a dream, but in a new body. Deep inside a concrete bunker in Arizona, hundreds of people are waiting, suspended in liquid nitrogen, silent, frozen, just waiting. They aren't dead. At least that's what the scientists guarding them believe. They call them patients. Is this the greatest scam in medical history? Or the only ambulance ride to a future where death is optional? Right now, death is the end of your story. Biology fails, the lights go out, and that's it. Game over. But what if death wasn't an event, but a process? A process we could pause, just before the point of no return. For the price of a life insurance policy, you could buy a ticket to the year 2300. But there is a catch. If the science is wrong, you're just a frozen corpse. If it's right, you become immortal. Let's look at the evidence. The idea isn't new. In 1967, a psychology professor named James Bedford became the first human to be cryopreserved. But early cryonics had a massive, fatal flaw. It was called the ice crystal problem. And it destroyed everything. When water freezes, it expands. Your body is 60% water. Freezing a human was like putting a soda can in the freezer. Cells ruptured. Organs turned to mush. Even if we could thaw them out, the person was gone. The brain was shredded. For decades, cryonics was seen as a joke. A sci-fi fantasy for rich eccentrics who couldn't accept their own mortality. Scientists laughed at it. They said you can't unscramble an egg. Once the structure is gone, the information is lost forever. But the cryonicists didn't stop. They knew that if they could solve the ice problem, the game would change completely. They needed a way to cool the body to -196 degrees Celsius without forming a single sharp crystal of ice. It seemed impossible. Physics dictated that water must crystallize at those temperatures. Nature was against them. So for years, bodies were frozen, damaged, and stored. Hopes were literally put on ice, with no guarantee of return. Critics called it corpse sickles. They said these companies were selling false hope to grieving families for profit. And honestly, the critics were right. At least, they were right about the old technology. Because in the early 2000s, something happened in a lab that shouldn't have been possible. A chemistry breakthrough. They found a way to cheat physics. It wasn't about freezing anymore. It was about something else entirely. It was about turning biology into glass. The breakthrough is called vitrification. From the Latin word for glass. This is the game changer. Instead of freezing water into ice, vitrification turns the biological fluids into a solid, glass-like state. They replace your blood with a medical-grade antifreeze solution. It's a cryoprotectant cocktail. As the temperature drops, the molecules don't organize into crystals. They just get slower and slower, until they stop. No expansion, no bursting cells, no shredded organs. Your brain is preserved exactly as it was. Greg Fahey, a cryobiologist, demonstrated this by vitrifying a rabbit kidney, rewarming it, and transplanting it back. The result, the kidney worked. The rabbit lived. It proved complex organs can survive the process. This moved cryonics from crazy talk to legitimate biological possibility. But the brain is harder than a kidney. Your brain has 86 billion neurons. Vitrification preserves the structure, but does it preserve you? Under an electron microscope, vitrified brain tissue looks pristine. The synapses, the connections of memory are intact. If your memories are physical structures, and those structures are saved, then theoretically, you are still in there. The problem is, we know how to freeze you, we just have absolutely no idea how to wake you up. The antifreeze is toxic. If you warm up now, the chemicals kill you. You're paused but trapped. It's like saving a file to a hard drive format that no computer can read. Yet. And this is where the new generation of scientists comes in. They aren't looking for a thaw, they're looking for a rebuild. Don't think of cryonics as medical treatment. Think of it as an ambulance to the future. You don't need 2024 technology to cure you, you just need to survive until 2090 technology exists. Future medicine won't use scalpels, it will use nanobots, robots the size of blood cells. Imagine millions of these bots entering a warmed-up body, repairing the frost damage molecule by molecule. They could flush out the toxic antifreeze and replace it with blood, all while you are still asleep. This is the molecular repair theory. It turns medicine into an engineering problem. But it gets even wilder. Some scientists believe you might not need your biological body at all. If your connectome, the map of your brain, is preserved, we could scan it. Slice by slice, we could upload you into a synthetic body or a virtual world. No thawing required. This splits the cryonics community. Are you the meat, or are you the math? If you are just the pattern of information, then cryonics is the ultimate data backup. And recently, a startup called Nectome proposed a controversial procedure to preserve that data perfectly. Their method is fatal, 100%. But it preserves the brain so well, it looks like plastic. It's called aldehyde stabilized cryopreservation. It turns your brain into a biological statue. The catch: you have to do it while you are alive. It's essentially doctor-assisted suicide for preservation. MIT severed ties with them. The ethics are a nightmare. But the science works. How do we know it works? Because we have already revived complex memories from frozen animals. Scientists trained worms to react to a specific smell. Then they froze them. Hard. When they thawed them out, the worms still reacted to the smell. The memory survived the freeze. This proves that memory is physical. It's not a ghost. It's chemistry. And chemistry can be paused. Even more shocking, in 2016, a research team revived a rabbit brain that had been frozen to 130 degrees. The neurons fired. The circuits were active. It wasn't conscious, but the hardware was functional. This changes everything. It means the damage we fear might not be irreversible. We used to think death was a cliff. You fall off and you're gone. Now we see it as a slope. You slip and you slide down. First your heart stops. Then your cells die. Then the structure rots. Cryonics is just a way to catch you before you slide too far down the slope. So, how do you catch a falling human? You need a standby team. These are specialized paramedics who wait at your bedside while you are dying. The moment the doctor pronounces legal death, they legally own your body. They immediately start ice baths and mechanical CPR to keep the blood flowing to the brain. If they are late, if you die alone, it's over. The brain rots in minutes. If you make it, you end up here. The biggest facility is Alker in Scottsdale, Arizona. Inside, it looks like a sci-fi movie. Dewars, giant thermoses, hold hundreds of patients. It costs about 200,000 for a full body, or 80,000 for just the head. They call it neuro. Why just the head? Because your body is easily replaceable. Your brain is the only irreplaceable part. Most people pay with life insurance. You die, the insurance pays Alker, and Alker freezes you. But legally, you are dead. You have no rights. You are property. If the company goes bankrupt, you melt. This actually happened in the 70s. The Chatsworth disaster. 9 frozen bodies thawed out and decomposed when funding ran dry. It was a horror show. Today, Alker uses a patient care trust, a separate fund designed to keep the lights on forever. They are building bunkers designed to survive economic collapse and war. But enough about logistics. Let's talk about the people. Who actually does this? Let's meet Alex. Alex is 23, a software engineer. And Alex is dying of a rare brain tumor. Doctors said he had 6 months. Most people would plan a funeral. Alex planned a standby team. He didn't want to leave his parents. He didn't want his story to end. He loved life too much to quit. The last weeks were a race. Contracts, funding, getting the team in place near the hospice. When the moment came, the cryonics team was waiting in the next room with an ice bath. The second his heart stopped, they moved. Time was the enemy. They cooled him, hooked him up to the perfusion machine, and replaced his blood.
Pressure's coming up.
Alex isn't buried in the ground. He is standing in a tank in Arizona. His parents visit him. They don't bring flowers to a grave. They bring updates on the world. For them, Alex isn't gone. He's just on a very long trip. Let's say it works. Let's say in 2080 Alex wakes up. What world does he see? He has no money. His skills are obsolete. Everyone he knew is dead. This is the culture shock problem. Reintegration might be harder than the revival. Language will have changed. Social norms will be unrecognizable. He will be an alien on his own planet. But maybe he won't be alone. Maybe there will be entire communities of the revived. And what about overpopulation? If no one dies, where do we put everyone? Critics say only the rich will get frozen, creating a caste of immortal elites. Imagine a CEO who never retires, a dictator who never dies. The power dynamics could be terrifying, but technology always gets cheaper. Yesterday's supercomputer is today's smartphone. Eventually, cryonics could be a basic human right, part of universal healthcare. This brings us to the final question, the philosophical one. Cryonics forces us to ask, what are you? Are you your body? Or are you your memories? If I copy your memories to a computer and delete the original, is it still you? This is the ship of Theseus paradox. If we replace every part, does the soul remain? Some say death gives life meaning. That scarcity makes the moments precious. But ask a cancer patient if they want meaning, or if they want more time. Humanity has spent 10,000 years fighting death. We invented medicine, seatbelts, vaccines. Cryonics is just the next step. It's the refusal to go quietly into the night. It is the ultimate gamble. The longest of long shots. But for the people in the tanks, the bet is placed. They are waiting for the future to answer. Maybe they will wake up. Maybe they won't. But as long as they are frozen, they aren't dead. They are just paused. And in a universe as strange as ours, paused is a hell of a lot better than stop. Would you do it? Would you freeze yourself for a chance at a second life? Or do you think death is a natural part of the cycle that we shouldn't tamper with? Let us know in the comments below. We read every theory. This has been Behind the Breakthroughs, bringing you the science of tomorrow today. If you like this, you need to see our video on digital immortality. Next time, we're investigating the simulation theory. Is your life just code? Click the bell so you don't miss it. Science is moving fast. Don't get left behind.